Hey there everybody, it's Jessica here from Jessica Smith TV, and I'm so excited to be teaming up with MyFitnessPal for our fall challenge. So this is day number 1, workout number 1. We're gonna be doing some total body strength training today. So let's get warmed up while we set up the workout. So just walking in place here, we just wanna get our blood flowing to start warming up those muscles gently before we pick up any weights at all. So let me just set this up for you. Here's what you're gonna be working with. A set of dumbbells, if you have them. You can go with one heavier set and one lighter set. I'm using 5 and 10 pounders. And you're gonna need a sturdy chair for some of the exercises. Now, if you're more advanced, you may not need a chair at all. And if you're a beginner just starting out, feel free to do this workout using just your body weight, and or maybe you have some 16-ounce water bottles around your house. You can grab those too as substitutes. They'll be about 1 pound each for you for this routine. So standing tall, still working on bringing up the heart rate, getting the blood flowing. Just give me a side-to-side step. Starting to get those inner and outer thighs working a little bit more for you. Good, so just remember throughout the workout, I'm gonna give you some options to up-level or simplify. I just want you to listen to your body and make the moves work for you, okay? So from here, just give me a little side-to-side toe tap. Use those legs, pointing through the feet, starting to wake up through the ankles. Good, just give me a reach. Up and over, stretch that side out. That's it, abs are in tight to your spine. Just take your arm across your body. Get a nice little dynamic stretch for that upper back. Little twist through that waistline. You got it, just a few more. Now just go ahead and steady your feet. Keep them nice and wide. I want you to sit back into your hips. Small squat, come back up. So we're gonna sit back. So that chair should be behind you. Imagine you're reaching back for it. You don't have to go that low yet though. 4 more. Make sure those knees are staying behind your toes. Good, so especially if you have some knee issues, I'm gonna show you some ways to make squats and lunges work for you, but you may need to modify further depending on what you're working with. Take it down, just hold it. Let's take the hands on top of the thighs for a little more support, just stretching the spine. Inhale, round your chin to your chest. Exhale, arch, look up. Do it again. Inhale, round. Exhale, arch. Contract your abs, stretch that spine. 1 more, contract and arch. Let's roll all the way up from here. Come back to your side steps, nice and wide. So let's get into the arms and the shoulders a little bit more. I want you to just go ahead and make a letter W with your arms. We're gonna reach up to a letter V, pull down to that W shape. Inhaling and exhaling. Up for 2. Good. Standing nice and tall through that upper body. 2 more. Up and down. Last time here. Up for 2. Pull in for 2. Good. Now let's get a little bit more inside the shoulders. So I want you to lower your hands right in line with your elbows. Hug your elbows into your sides. Turn your palms in. Open them out. So keeping the elbows in position. You're just going to internally rotate, externally rotate. When your hands come together, give me a little press through your palms, a little squeeze, opening back out. 4 more, in, out. Good, last 3, in, and out. You got it, 2 more times. In, out, 1 more, in, out. You got it, let's walk and hold. Nice, okay. So let's go ahead and start with our first exercise. We're gonna do what I call a sit down, stand up squat. So if you're using them, carefully go pick up your heavier set of weights. We're gonna use our chair as a reference. If you're more advanced, you may not need a chair. You might wanna go even lower than we're going. Beginners, no weight at all is good for you. You can have your weights on top of your thighs or right in front of your shoulders. So I want you to sit back into your chair, 2 counts back, 2 counts up. Now beginners, you're gonna actually sit all the way down and stand all the way up. If you don't need that chair, just tap it and come back. Good. More advanced exercisers. Rack those weights. Maybe standing in front of the chair, you can drop a little bit deeper. Just make sure those knees stay behind your toes. Good. So we're coming down, up. Don't worry about the number of reps that we do. We're going for time under tension with this circuit. And pay attention to how your body's feeling. So if you hit fatigue, meaning you can't keep great form anymore, take a little breather and we'll meet you in that resting point as soon as we're done. Good, sitting back, standing tall. Now really think about standing strong through both of your feet, even through your toes and your heels. Sit back for that chair. Now really squeeze your glutes as you stand up. Down for 2, up for 2. Relax your neck, but keep your chest lifted. Good, are we starting to feel those legs yet? Okay, let's see if we can go for just 4 more, down and up. This is 4. Squeeze to stand, 3. Good, 2 more times. Now we're going in a circuit fashion, so we're not gonna take a lot of breaks in between these exercises. From here, we're gonna take a moment to carefully come down to the floor for a chest press. Now, if you don't wanna go to the floor, maybe you have a bench at your house you could lay back onto, that's fine. Just make it work. Come on back to your back. Open your elbows out to the sides, 90 degrees from your shoulders. You're gonna push up above the chest, come down. Exhaling on the way up, inhaling on the way down. Now again, adjust to meet your needs. Use a lighter weight or no weight if you're just getting started. Advanced exercisers, you can go nice and heavy here. Press up. Abs are in tight. Don't just rest on the floor with the rest of your body. If you wanted a little bit more core engagement, you could also lift your feet up. A little less stable in that position. Good. Now I want you to make sure your elbows are not resting on the floor at the bottom of that press. When you're opening back out to that 90-degree angle, hover them just above the floor. Down for 2. Exhale up. Good. Inhale. Exhale. Nice and strong. Good. So sometimes when we work out at home, we don't have a lot of heavy weights or barbells available to us. If you're doing this at a gym, you might have access to them, but that's the reason we're going for a higher rep count. It's because home exercisers usually don't have access to super heavy weights. If you do, great. You're maybe doing less reps if you're using heavier. Again, adjust and adapt to meet your needs. We're gonna do 2 more like this. Nice, last one right here. Down, up, good. Now let's just carefully take a minute to make our way up off of the floor or the bench that we might be working on. So now we're gonna go into the back of the body with a bent over row. So feet are a little bit wider than hip width, knees are soft, hinging forward from your hips, nice neutral spine. You're gonna row up 2 counts, reach down for 2. Now I want you to think about those elbows aiming behind you on a diagonal. So you're not gonna go straight up. Relax your chin to your chest. Squeeze your shoulder blades back in together like you're trying to hold a pencil between them. Up and down, nice. So thinking about bringing the weights to your body, not the body to the weights. Let's do a spinal alignment check. So I want you to make sure you're not rounding through your shoulders. It's almost gonna feel like you're sticking out your rear end slightly, so you're maintaining that natural lumbar curve in your low back. If you find that your back really starts to hurt when you're doing these exercises where you're hinged forward, you might need to double check in the mirror, see what your spinal alignment is doing. Anytime you're rounding, you're gonna be stressing those muscles rather than strengthening them. Pull back, release now, good. So I got great news for you. We're gonna circuit through those same exercises one more time. So we're gonna go back to that deep squat, with or without that chair, in 4, good, 3, just give me 2 more like that. 1 more, nice and controlled. Great job, guys. Okay, so coming back, if you're using that chair, come right back in front of it, feet about hip width, sit back for 2. I'm gonna hold my weights up here this set. If you're ready for more, go for more. So I'm just gonna use the chair as a reference point now. Wanna tap it, stand tall. Good. So what's nice about going through these exercises without rest, we keep the heart rate a little more elevated than taking that downtime in between each exercise. Slight cardio effect in there. Good, so remember pressing down to the toes and the heels. Nice. Breathe. Check in with how you're feeling. You need to rest before we're done. You do it. Looking good. Squeeze to stand. Now, especially if you're holding those weights at your shoulders, check your posture. Chest is lifted, hips are back, spine is neutral. Good. We're almost done with this set. 4 more. Take it back. Last 3. Good. 1 more time. Sitting back. Nicely done. Okay, so let's head on down to the floor. Carefully make your way to the ground, or if you're using a bench, way back onto the bench. So remember, feet can be on the floor or lifted for a little more core. Pressing up for 2, right above the midline of your chest. Down for 2, 90 degrees. Don't let those elbows rest on the floor. Thinking of exhaling those weights away from the body, inhaling them down. Good. Up for 2, down 2. So using this time with these basic moves, which are great, even if you're an advanced exerciser, great opportunity to go heavier with your weights and refine your form and alignment. So we really want to make sure that to target the chest, the weights come right over the midline of your chest. We don't want them above your shoulders. Exhale, up and down. Again, try to hover above that mat at the bottom. Really good. 4 more. Up and down. 3. Nice. We have 2 more here. Then we're going to get back up off the floor carefully. Last time. Again, take your time to carefully rock yourself up to seated. Use your legs to bring you up. Coming back to that bent over row next. Feet hip width, knees are soft, hinging forward at the hips. Nice neutral spine. Row up for 2. Resist down for 2. So remembering that the lowering phase of our exercises are just as important as the lifting part. Working on that eccentric contraction as we lower and resist gravity. Giving those muscles more time under tension, more time to gain strength and stamina. Up and down, looking good. So remember what we talked about with that spine. Stick out that rear slightly, chin to the chest. You can just be looking at the floor. I'll tell you when we're about to change. Nice, just a few more here, then we're gonna move on to our next circuit. Last 4, 3. Give me 2 more. Last one, pull those elbows back on that diagonal. Good job. So coming up, carefully if you're using heavy weights, switch out to your lighter sets. So now we're gonna target more smaller muscle groups. So So we're gonna move into an overhead press. Just give me a strong stance to the legs, abs in tight. Take your elbows up to 90 degrees. We're gonna move into an overhead press. Using that 2 count, up for 2, back to 90 degrees. Now on that overhead press, just make sure your weights are slightly in front of you at the top, so you can see them kind of out of the corner of your eyes without having to look directly at them. So we're pushing up with the shoulders, controlling down with the back. Give me strong, what I call sea legs. So you're engaging the core, giving yourself a nice, solid, strong foundation. So if somebody were to come up to you and try to knock you over right now, you wouldn't move. Good, keep pressing up and down. Relax your neck here. Keep the tension in the muscle out of the neck. That's it, push, resist down. So remember, as you go through this workout more, you'll know what kind of weight you need, right? So if you feel like you could do even more reps than we're doing right now, feel free to upgrade. Maybe you need to go a little lighter. Maybe you need to do some with the weights and then drop down to your body weight. Make it work. We have 3 more here. Good, last 2. 1 more. Nicely done. So let's go ahead and take a split stance now. We're gonna take the back foot forward. So just getting back into that grounded position, a little softness in the knees, palms are forward. Beginners, I want you to stay here. My more advanced folks, you could drop down to a lunge. So we're gonna curl up, resist down. So your lunge option looks like that. Down for 2, up for 2. That's it. Squeeze those elbows into your sides. If you are choosing to add that lunge, check that alignment of your knees, front knee over the ankle. Back knee is gonna drop down right underneath that back hip. And that split stance should be more on railroad tracks than a tightrope. So think about keeping your feet about hip distance apart here. Down and up, that's it, nice. Shoulders are stacked over our hips. Concentrate on that nice, strong range of motion. Final 4, 3, last 2. You got it. 1 more time. Beautiful. Now we're gonna stack the weights, or you could also just use 1. Bringing our feet together. So beginners are gonna stay here. More advanced folks, you can tap your toe or try a single leg balance. Arms are up. We're gonna bend the elbows, press up. Relax the chin to your chest. So we're going into a nice overhead extension with those triceps. Thinking about your elbows, hugging in towards your head. So even if you've got both feet flat on the floor, by keeping a more narrow stance, you're gonna engage a little bit more of those core muscles that help with our balance and stabilize our spine. So remember, you adapt and adjust. You can also change your foot position at any time. Down for 2, up for 2. Beautiful. We starting to sparkle a little bit? Good. Sometimes you can sweat just as much with strength training as you do with those cardio sessions. Keep those elbows in, relax that neck. Home stretch here. Let's try for 4 more. 3. Last 2, you got it. 1 more here. Really nice, everybody. Okay, before we move on, come back to that split stance. We have 1 more to work your upper back. Hinging forward from your hips, palms face in. We're gonna take an upper back row. So we aim up and back on a diagonal. So think about aiming your elbows to where the wall meets the ceiling behind you here. Chin to the chest, neutral spine, Advanced folks, if you want to up level, give me a balance, but don't bring your body up. Pull it back. I'm going to stay right here. Take it back. Good. So again, let's use that visual of a pencil in between those shoulder blades. Begin that movement by retracting those shoulder blades right around that pencil. Pull. Resist. Exhale on the way up. Resist coming down. Good. You got it. Keep that focus. Remember, diagonal line for those elbows. Don't go straight up. So as we come towards the end of the set, those weights should be starting to feel nice and heavy. Final 4. Here we go. 4. Down. 3. Nice. Last 2 right here. 1 more. Nicely done. Just come on up for a second. So we're going to reverse that entire set, facing the other way. So you remember what we started with? Overhead press. That's right. So 90 degrees. Get your sea legs. Abs into the spine. 90-degree arms. Up for 2. Down for 2. It's up. Pull down. Good. So really try to keep those shoulders working the entire time by not dropping those elbows below your shoulders. Exhale, inhale. So remember, we want to be able to see those weights out of the corner of our eyes as they raise and lower. Up. Resist coming down. Good. Nice tall posture. Good. So remember, our alignment, even in the rest of the body that's not doing the movement, plays a huge role in our control of the weights and the results we get from these moves. So you want to make sure that you've got great posture, great alignment and form through every exercise. Good. Lift. When you have a nice, strong, tall base, you can lift a little heavier. You can do a few more reps. Final 4 right here. We're almost there. 3 more. Last 2. 1 more time. We're there. All right, let's take that split stance position. So you have your split stance hold or your lunge with that bicep curl. Are you ready? So down and up, or adding the lunge. You could also hold somewhere in the middle with a static lunge and focus on that curl. Good, down. Up, so remember those feet are on a railroad track. Front knee over the ankle, back knee under the hip, shoulders over the pelvis. Elbows by the sides. Contracting that bicep, then resisting as we extend the arms. Keep that tension in the arms. Keep strengthening those arms. Good. So we want to give your fall season a nice strong start here. I know it's easy to fall out of your activity habit. The daylight starts getting shorter, the weather starts getting colder. Don't use that as an excuse, right? We want to keep you moving, keep you working so that when New Year's is here, you don't have to do all that catching up. You're gonna help keep your immune system healthier, you're gonna have more energy. So many reasons to stay active all year long. We're gonna do about 3 more right here. 3, up, last 2. 1 more right here. Nice job. Moving on to triceps. Stack the weights or use just one. Feet together, toe tapped, or 1 leg balance. Let's go. Up for 2, down for 2. Now, if you are trying a balance, try focusing your eyes on a point in front of you to help you keep your center. Elbows in towards your head. Good. even if both feet are on the floor and together. Engage your abs, support your spine, breathe. Exhaling as we extend, inhaling as we bend, that's it. Nice, pressing up, resisting down. Lift, down. How's your neck doing? Keep it free of tension here. Push up, resist down. You look great, stay with me. Four more to finish. Up. 3. Last 2, here we go. One more time, really work those arms. Nicely done. Carefully, let's transition back to your split stance, or if you tried that balance on the other side, do it here too so you're even. Upper back, row, here we go. Up for 2, resist. Remember, if you're in your balance, you're just here. Eyes to the floor, elbows back to where the wall meets the ceiling. Squeeze up, resist down. Find that imaginary pencil right between those shoulder blades. Up and down, good. Don't hold your breath. We're getting stronger with every rep here. Keep that focus for me. We're in the home stretch. Here's your final 4, let's do it. 4, 3. Nice, 2 more. 1 more. You got it. Carefully come on up, let's set those weights to the side. So we're gonna move on to some work for the core. So we're gonna use your chair as a way to modify these moves. If you're more advanced, you can go right to the floor. We're gonna do some plank work. So if you are using a chair, please just make sure it's not gonna go anywhere. You can even put it against a wall to keep it stable. I want you to start off by taking your hands shoulder width apart and keep your shoulders right over your hips. So if you're on the floor, it's the same thing. Abs in tight, push away from the chair or the floor, engage your abs home into your spine. Walk one foot out, bring the other foot back, hip distance apart, keep your shoulders over your hands, keep pushing away from that chair or the floor. Abs are zipped in tight, make sure you can still breathe, just hold it to start. Good, if this bothers your wrists, you could take this on your elbows, also on the chair or on the floor. Keep engaging through the chest. So the times we start to feel the wrists are when we start sinking down. If you can keep pushing away, that can help alleviate some wrist pain. Keep pulling your shoulders down and away from your ears. Keep zipping your belly button in tight. Make sure your hips are not sagging to the floor or hiking to the ceiling. We're aiming to make a diagonal from the heels through the hips and out through our head. Last 4, 3, 2, give me 1 more. Nicely done. Okay, continuing to work the core. If you're on the floor, just turn around, have a seat. Hands outside of our hips. We're gonna work the triceps and the core muscles with a little dip and knee lift. So you're gonna start here and here. If you're on the floor, you're gonna take it here and here. So nice and slow to start. Down and up. Again, keep pressing away from the chair or the floor, stay out of your wrists. Here comes the core part. On the way up, lift 1 foot. Switch legs. So we come down, up. Keep your hips towards the chair. Good. So if you're on the floor, you might have to make your range of motion a little smaller because you don't have so much room to dip down low. Just 4 more. Squeeze. 3. Press 2 more. Don't internally rotate your shoulders in too much. Last 1. Nice. Now let's just go ahead and make our way up to standing if you're on the floor. Come on up if you're off the chair. So we're gonna give the wrists a little break, but keep working the core and the legs. Take one leg out to the side, hands light behind your head. Just give me a cross crunch. If you need help with your balance, the toe can stay on the floor. Exhale, twist. Inhale, release. So I want your hips to stay square to me. Aim your elbow to your opposite knee. Good. Exhaling, inhaling. And down one more time on this side. Down, let's switch legs. Ready, other way. Exhale and inhale. Exhale and inhale. Remember your options, you can tap that floor if you need to. Exhale and inhale. 3 more on this side. Cross and out. 2 and down one more time. Breathe. Good, so believe it or not, that was actually part of our cool down, just to lower the heart rate a little bit more. We're gonna do a few simple stretches to wrap up. Hands behind your back. Inhale, lift your chest. Take some nice deep breaths here. Good, take one arm across. Just gently give it a pull. You can bend your opposite leg away, stretching across the upper back. Go ahead and come up and switch arms. Push away. And just take it center. Give me a stretch to the side and to the other side. Come back to the center. Let's take a nice deep breath together to finish. Thank you so much for joining me for day 1 strength training. I'm so glad you decided to join us for the fall challenge. If you're finding us from YouTube, you're not quite sure what it is, the links are below in the video description. We'd love to have you jump in and join us for this fall challenge. And please don't forget to sign up for our free email list. You can go to walkonwalkstrong.com, sign up for free. We'll send you our welcome packet to give you some additional tips and helpful hints to get even more results from your workout plan. Thanks, you guys. Can't wait to see you for day 2 tomorrow. Take care, everybody.